Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hanging With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter. Thank you so much for logging on and tuning in. We are at Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida, at the invitation of our great friend Rick Shea and his whole team down here. And right now, we are hanging out with comic creator Joanathan Hedrick.
Correct.
Joanathan Hedrick, the creator of Freakshow Princess. Wow. She's having a rough day here.
Yes, I'd say.
You know, I know a lot of guys get handsy, but this is out of hand.
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah, that's sorry. It's like dad joke day or something. All right, man. Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Man. So, Joanathan, how long have you been working as a creative artist?
I'm the writer of Freakshow Princess, and I wrote it as a short story. Actually, 10 years ago.
Okay.
Small format, 3,500 words or less, short story that I shopped around to some of the online, sci-fi horror magazine publications. Didn't get picked up by anyone, and I kind of let it collect the digital dust, if you will.
It happens a lot.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Then recently I started tinkering around with scripting with comics, and I dusted it off, thought it would make a great one-shot, reformatted it into the comic book structure, and looked into hiring a creative team to draw it, to color it, and letter it, and before I knew it, I had a hard copy of it in my hands.
Wow.
So, yeah. So first published work, self-published.
That's fantastic, though.
Yeah,
That is
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
By the way, welcome to the indie artist community.
Yeah, it's a wonderful community to be
ramen
in.
noodles on sale every Thursday.
Yeah. Been eating plenty of those lately. Buy them in bulk.
I love the new ones. They still have hope in their eyes. It hasn't faded yet.
Right. Still haven't gone jaundice
great.
yet.
Yeah. Tell us what is this about, man?
So
tell us about Freakshow.
It's a one-shot zombie story, kind of in the style of Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
What I like about horror is the closed-in, trapped style horror that only has one difference in our everyday life. You know, the supernatural stuff that doesn't have rules to it doesn't appeal to me. But zombies, on the other hand, is just that one thing that's different. The dead have come to life, and that's it. Everything else is
a pretty big thing.
It's a pretty big thing.
It's a pretty big thing,
yeah.
Zombies are creepy to me
They
as
are.
monsters.
Yes.
But and I tell people all the time. Originally, I was not a huge zombie fan because zombies are the least sexy monster.
They are, yeah. Nothing sexy about
there's
them.
nothing sexy about zombies.
Right.
They're slow. They're lumbering.
Right.
They're rotted,
Yeah.
and they just keep coming. But you're like, And then one day, the artist in me kicked in, and I realized, wait, that is literally death personified.
Exactly.
It is slow, it is lumbering, it is coming for you.
Right.
And the best that you can do is survive one more day, because eventually it's going to catch you.
Right.
And I thought, oh man, they literally personify death to this slow, lumbering, following. Your life's not getting better. Nothing as good is going to happen to you. This is the best you're going to do is survive.
Exactly.
Another hour, another day, another year.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, zombies became terrifying to me.
Correct. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, I got the metaphors for vampirism and the outsider, and the beast within, the werewolf, and the Hulk, and I got those metaphors right up front. They're kind of in your face.
Right.
These guys, it took me a while to realize that was the freakiest of all. This is the monster that we all know.
Yes. And I think that's what appeals to a lot of people about the zombie genre is that it's really versatile. You've seen it be recreated over and over and over again in different ways.
We've seen the outbreak, the kind of the zombie virus, and then we've seen sort of the Resident Evil people who really got creepy, and they made their zombies jump and do like backflips and stuff. Then I don't want my zombie to do that.
Infected and more than zombie. Yeah.
And it's really there's been a lot of latitude given.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's a dead guy coming for you.
Right.
And wow.
And you don't want them in numbers.
No, because that is when death has buddies,
Yeah.
it's a bad day
Exactly.
for everybody that's not dead.
That's right.
Who did your cover art, man? This is fantastic.
The cover artist and interior artist, his name is Ben Worrell. He's out of Colorado Springs.
Okay.
I met him through a Facebook group called Connecting Comic Writers and Artists.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and he had already worked with the colorist and the letterer, and so he recommended them to me since they had all already had a working creative relationship.
A lot of I like about this is that it has a sort of a classic horror feel.
Yes.
That very dark background, and
Right.
the lighting is really, the shading is done really well
Yeah.
for lighting.
I was very fortunate getting the creative team that I have on that book.
That is fantastic.
Yep.
And you're the writer.
I'm the writer.
Okay.
That's right.
And you so I think down here we've got your art team here.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So there we have Hedrick right there. See, he is the writer.
Yes.
Okay. And Worrell.
Ben Worrell.
Ben
Yep.
Worrell.
Yep.
Where is he out of?
He, Colorado Springs. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we have
Sinil Ghagre. He's out of India, as in the country.
Really?
Yes. I didn't.
that's Ghagre.
Yeah.
I believe him.
I might even be pronouncing it wrong too. I've asked him to send me an audio clip of it, and I've heard it over and over again.
You do that? I do that too. I'm on like Google, and
Yeah.
I like every time I find a word, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm asking Google. Go ahead and try that for me. She doesn't always get it right,
No,
by the way.
no.
And then Jeffrey.
CJ Jeffrey is
Jeffrey?
the letterer, and he did all the digital formatting and the trade dress as well.
That is fantastic. Now, you said this started out as a short story. How long have you been a writer?
I'd say I've always felt like I had the writer in me, even in elementary school in English class. It wasn't too difficult for me to summarize. When you had to do the book reports, everyone dreaded it. I was like, I can jam through this book and then summarize it in 1-2 pages, and always found myself needing more pages to summarize those books.
Yeah, the worst
Not
thing
to
in the
show
world
off,
is when
right?
when they limit you. They're like, just 2 paragraphs. You're like, what?
I can't do this in just 2
I
paragraphs.
I mean, I don't even know that I can write just 2 paragraphs.
Right.
I think I would convulse or something if that happened.
Yeah,
Right?
it's more of a challenge to do less words.
Freakshow Princess.
Yes.
Is there a story in the title? Where
Yes.
did you-
So we don't use the word zombie in this story. She calls them freak shows.
Freak shows.
Yes. Yep.
Each one is its own show.
Exactly.
It's a lot of shows.
And the main character, Jessica, her boyfriend called her princess.
Okay.
So she is the princess of the freak shows.
Princess of the Freak Shows.
Yeah.
She's got the holding hands up here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Don't hold that hand.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
Maybe use some Purell afterwards.
Lotion too.
Right.
Maybe,
Yeah.
'cause
Lysol wipe at least.
It's a little dry.
Yeah.
So, are you working on the next one? Are you working on another one now?
Yep. Actually,
are you hooked? Have you got
I'm
the
hooked.
bug?
I got the bug. I got the bug bad. So I actually have been working on 2 different titles simultaneously, 2 different creative teams. The next one's going to come out next month. It's called Capable. It's a superhero story about a disabled high schooler who wakes up one day with superpowers.
Awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's more than a one shot. I hope that's at least a 7-issue story or not more. And then my other title is called The Recount. It's going to be a 4-issue miniseries. That's about political assassination that goes a little too far. Now, the conspiracy group isn't just
an assassination that goes a little too far.
right. So
Most people go with assassination as a
Right.
pretty far
Right.
move. So
the conspiracy group, they're bloodthirsty, and that political assassination, they want to go beyond. Now they want to go after the people that helped that politician get into power,
wow.
as in the voters. So there's the title, The Recount.
Wow.
Yeah. I call it a mixture of The Purge meets House of Cards. And that, I mean,
And as a comic, that's
Yeah.
a really cool
yeah,
concept.
I'm really excited about
We've
it.
seen comic artists and writers dabble with political intrigue once in a
Right.
while, but they generally feeding another story.
Yes.
So feeding maybe a superhero story or feeding a different kind of story. The intrigue is kind of over here in the background.
Right.
So bringing that to the foreground of a comic book, that's going to be really neat.
I'm really excited about it. I have a great team attached to it. Gabriel Nunez. He's worked for Scout on a short run called Graveland. And then my letterer is Christian Dokolomansky, who also worked for Scout on a book called Zinnober. They're both from Chile. And ironically, during the process of this first issue, they've been experiencing a lot of trouble in Chile with their political corruption there. So.
You know, it's interesting that I think here in the U.S. and you know, we've kind of won the genetic lottery.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
to be able to live where we live.
Absolutely.
And on our worst day, on our worst political day, and we've had some, you know, pretty bad days.
For sure.
When you look around the world at the bare knuckles, bloody politics of the world, you can't help but wonder, wow, on our worst day, I mean, we're going to call you really bad names.
Yeah.
But around the world, politics is a blood sport.
Exactly.
And it's interesting. And it's neat that you get to work with artists who see the politics that you're writing about from a much more extreme
Absolutely.
you know, place.
Yeah.
So that's a really neat thing, and you're going to be able to inject for your readers the sense of, I mean, I think in America we take for granted that, you know, we either participate or we don't participate, and you know, we like a policy or we don't like a policy, but we go about our lives.
Yep.
And with, you know, with very little fanfare to it. And we kind of feel like, you know, you've heard people, readers talk, I'm not really into politics.
Of course.
And that's something that's perfectly normal for a lot of people. But when you get with your artists and you're dealing with people from Chile or from anywhere else on the globe, and you're starting to talk about, you know, these elections and these policies and assassinations and these are very real things.
They are.
This is not a comic book to them. This is real life.
It can be. It's very much grounded in a potential reality.
Yeah, I mean, it is. We are fortunate we get to choose. We'll participate, we won't participate. Yeah, I'm into it, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I'll watch the news or not.
Yeah.
But in other places, they kind of forced to live it every day. And it'll be interesting to see how your readers here in the U.S. respond to a story that's a little more dire.
Right.
So that'll be really neat to see.
Yeah.
That's our shut up card that she's waving around. What? You think you're some kind of Jedi with your waving your hands? Anyway, guys, we have to wrap it up. We're going to say thank you to our wonderful friends here, Rick Shea and his team at Famous Faces and Funnies, our good friend Jake Estrada and David Grace at Space Coast Comic Con and Space Coast Comics, our great friend over at Indie Originals Live, Chuck Fresh, Josh Bauer at J. Bauer Art for the fantastic art that's on our set everywhere we go. Our great friends at Hearts Helping Others of Central Florida. This is a group of Central Florida families helping other Central Florida families.
That's
which is
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah.
We're right now in the middle of a toy drive for young teens.
Awesome.
Because everybody focuses on the little kid stuff.
They do,
you know?
yeah.
And our young teens and tweens, they kind of, they're looking for a game here and there or something, right?
Yeah.
So help those kids out at Christmas. Look up Hearts Helping Others of Central Florida. And guys, we've been hanging out here with Joanathan Hedrick, the writer of Freakshow, Princess, and Other and Sundry, coming soon to a comic book shop near you or online. We're going to drop some links down below so that you can find Joanathan online and tell him what you think of his work. This is amazing, guys. Check it out.
Thank you.
Log on, tune in, and see who we're hanging with next. Thank you so much.
Thank
Joanathan.
you.
That
I
was
really
awesome.
appreciate it.
Yes,
That was
sir,
fun.
that was fun.
Yeah.